Welcome back. It's good to be back with Allison here for another game. It's been a couple weeks, so we'll be doing a little Big Ten tournament trivia. I'll ask you some questions. We'll see how many you get right. We'll bring Dan in. Right now, Dan is backstage. He's wearing headphones, listening to Happy Birthday on repeat. That was by choice. We didn't make him do that. So Allie will be answering the questions first. We'll bring Dan in. We'll see if Dan can beat Allie. You ready to get this going?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Who has the most all Big Ten tournament selections? So which team has had the most players selected to the all-tournament team?
Like in total history or this year? I'm going to go with Michigan State.
Ohio State. It's Ohio State with 21. So 0 for 1, but we'll move on to the next one. An easy one. Which year featured the highest average attendance in the Big Ten tournament?
Last year, 2018.
2001. 2001, of course. It was 2001, so we're 0 for 2. Those were two hard ones to kick us off, but we're going to get a little easier as we go on, I promise this time.
All right.
All right. Which team is coming into this year's Big Ten tournament with the least points against?
Michigan.
Michigan. All right, so you're on the board with 1. We'll move on to question number 4. Who has the best win-loss percentage all time in Big Ten tournaments?
Purdue.
Ohio State.
Wow.
Weird. It's weird. It's weird that we chose questions where Ohio State is seeming superior, but we'll move on to the next question. Which current coach has the best win-loss percentage in the Big Ten tournament?
Is it Izzo?
It's Coach B.
Ah.
Coach B line. All right, well, that's all right. We'll move on to the next one. Which team has the Big Ten tournament record? Which Michigan team has the Big Ten tournament record for most field goals attempted?
Which Michigan team? Like what year?
Yeah, so what year did Michigan attempt the most field goals in the Big Ten tournament out of all of the years?
2017?
2017. That was a good guess. Probably had to be a year that we won it right, where we played the most games, and that was a Michigan team that went on quite the run to win the Big Ten tournament. So on to the next one. Who was the last team? There's a little bit of a flex here. Who was the last team to win the Big Ten tournament besides Michigan?
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Michigan State. So another one for Allie, and now is the last question for you. What was the last year Michigan had a top 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament?
2013.
2014. 2014. So Allie got 3 right. Pretty good score. These are some hard questions. That's a pretty good score, and we'll bring Dan in now to see if he can beat that score of 3 questions right on a very difficult, very obscure Big Ten tournament quiz. And here he comes. Dan, good to be back.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, and you're not usually one to play the games here.
No.
So we'll bring you on for a game.
Yeah.
And this one's tough. It's a tough one.
Great.
All right. First question, who has the most all-tournament selections? So all-time, which Big Ten team has had the most players selected to the all-Big Ten tournament team?
Michigan State.
Ohio State.
Okay.
Ohio State. That was Allie's guess. So you guys both start with the wrong one, and we'll see if you can get this one right. This is a really tough one. Which year featured the highest average attendance in the Big Ten tournament?
Who even cares? 2015, Jack.
2001.
Well, that was
2001.
close. That was close.
You were close. That was a really tough one, but we move on to an easier one now.
Okay, great.
Allison got this one right. Which team is coming into this year's tournament with the least points allowed?
You said it was easy, Jack. I'm about to say the defensive powerhouse Michigan.
That would be Michigan. That would be Michigan. So Dan's on the board with 1. 3-1 as it stands. Dan is on the move. Who has the best win-loss percentage all time in the Big Ten tournament?
It's a great question. I'm going to have to say, see, one would think Michigan State, but I'm not going to say them. I'm going to say us. I don't know, Michigan?
It's Ohio State.
Oh, God, why were they so good?
Right.
Mike Conley?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, and all I can think of is Evan Turner, so I really can't. I can't figure it out. All right, which current coach has the best win-loss percentage in the Big Ten tournament?
I'm going to say John Beilein.
It's Coach Beilein.
Let's go.
It's Coach Beilein. So Dan has the advantage now because Allie got that one wrong. But Allie still leads 3-2. Which Michigan team has the Big Ten tournament record for most field goals attempted? So what year?
God, it's got to be the Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin's got to be on that team. That guy was a chucker. I'm going to have to say 2014.
2017.
Dang it!
2017. We deduced it had to be a team that went on a little bit of a run, played a lot of games.
Yeah, but Zach Irvin shoots like 30 times a game.
Yeah. Dan's bias against Zach Irvin is showing. All right, as I said, a little bit of a flex here. Who is the last team to win the Big Ten tournament not named Michigan?
Was that Purdue?
It was Michigan State.
Gosh.
Michigan State. So we're pretty much even now because Allie got that one right. So, and we go into the last question now. You got to get this right to tie her and send it to a tiebreaker. What was the last year Michigan had a top 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament?
Counting this year?
No. No. That was a really good thought.
This year? Yeah. God, these lights gotten hotter. I'll just say 2000, of course, and 11.
2014.
Damn it.
2014. I will say I'm proud of both of you for not
Thank you.
guessing last year, though, because that was a sneaky 5 seed we had last year. So we'll bring Allie back on. She's our winner today, and we certainly had some fun here.
Wasn't fun.
All right, well, Dan didn't have fun, but Allie did, winning, or maybe not, because the questions were hard. We'll send this over to the debate. It's a round table, and Dylan will be hosting it. Thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, welcome to the round table. I'm here with my amazing crew here with John, Nick, and Ethan. And we're gonna get right into it. Favorite moment from the Big Ten tournament, all time, whenever you wanna go. We'll go with Ethan first.
Yeah, no, I'll start that one. It's pretty easy for me. 2016, Cam Chapman buzzer beater over #1 seed Indiana. Just all-around great memory. Loved the Derek Walton quote after, thinking that he didn't even know it was Cam that he was passing it to. Thought it was Aubrey Dawkins. Just a great time. Always loved the Big Ten tournament, but that's my favorite memory.
It's a great memory. You know, it led to a victory for us and just a good time. It actually probably got us into the tournament that year, so it was a good memory. I'm going to go a little more recent and go with the Michigan State game from the tournament last year. And specifically in the middle of it when Nick Ward, I believe, fouled Charles Matthews, and they both kind of got near each other. And there's a nice couple of shots of Charles Matthews just laughing in Nick Ward's face, and it really made that victory just that much sweeter.
I'm actually going to go one day more recent than Nick and go with the Purdue game where John Teskey dunked on the ogre, Isaac Haas, and was screaming at him coming off the rim. Xavier Simpson gave him a little bit of a look coming up the court, which I'll try to replicate for you, but it was a little bit of a very memorable moment for me as I try to replicate it without doing it very well, but obviously it's still ingrained in my mind.
Definitely. All right, for our next question, we're gonna look at the actual bracket of the tournament and for what you guys think, how Michigan pans out here, and we're actually looking at Northwestern, Illinois. Winner of that will go play Iowa, and then winner of that will play us. So, what do you guys think about that matchup?
I'll go first here. I think it's a pretty good draw for us. I do believe that the team we're going to end up facing is Illinois.
Okay.
I think they're playing pretty good basketball right now. But overall, it is not as bad as it could have been. But the Big Ten as a whole is incredibly hard this year, so there's not going to be an easy game in the Big Ten tournament in my mind.
Interesting choice there, going with one of the lower-seeded teams in the tournament. But I also think we got a fairly good draw this year. We have Iowa, who's been kind of in free fall since Fran got a little angry. You have Northwestern, who's just not had a good year at all this year. And then you do have Illinois, who has some good freshmen on the team and could certainly make some noise. But I think there's a very good, favorable draw for Michigan here. And then even once you get past that first game, you're looking at you're looking at Purdue, who has had a bit of struggling lately, and other teams like that. And most of the teams that have been strong late are on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, I agree. It's a pretty good draw, mostly for the reasons that Nick mentioned at the end there, I guess. I'm not as worried about Iowa because they've been really bad recently. Illinois is kind of hot, but I'm not as worried. Northwestern isn't worth talking about. Purdue, I think, is a better draw to play against than Michigan State or Wisconsin, who are on the other side of the bracket. Wisconsin's ability to make a game ugly scares me quite a bit. Maryland, I'm not too worried about if we were near them, just because we beat them twice relatively easily. But yeah, Purdue, I think we match up relatively well against. Carson Edwards tries to take over games pretty often, and we have a point guard who can lock him down. So I'm not as worried about that matchup. And honestly, I don't really want to run into Michigan State early in the tournament, so it's a good thing we're over on this side of the bracket. So I'm pretty happy with the draw overall as a 3 seed even.
All right. And for our final question, we want to do our boldest predictions for this Big Ten tournament. Wherever you think we're going to end up, maybe we get upset early. I don't think that'll happen, but let's see what you guys think. Ethan, you can go first.
Okay, so I actually have a pretty bold prediction. I think Illinois will win the Big Ten tournament this year. I want to pick Michigan, but I just don't think we'll be able to pull it off. I think we're going to lose to Illinois. I think they'll take the momentum of beating us through the rest of the tournament, and I think they'll beat Wisconsin in the championship for the Big Ten tournament. And Illinois would then get the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament, and nobody was going to want to face them after that. Write it down.
So we asked for bold predictions. We did not ask for dumb predictions. I'm not sure if you got the memo there.
We're going to take whatever we can get.
I trust
You're
Brad
asking for
Underwood.
Illinois to do what has never been done and go 5 games in 5 days and win the tournament.
If you say people can't do what's never been done, then you're not a dreamer, my friend
Ethan?
Nick.
I'm moving on to my prediction,
There you go.
which there's really only one choice. It's going to be the Michigan Wolverines taking down another banner, third in 3 years. They have the fewest losses in the regular season this year, so they know they can do it. They can get the offensive firepower to go. They have always had the defense, and they're just going to lock teams down on the way to another banner.
Interesting.
I'm going to change it up a little bit as well. I think my bold prediction isn't quite as bold as Ethan's, but I think that Indiana is going to take down Michigan State for a 3rd time this year. I think they're then going to lose to Wisconsin. I think that we are going to get past the Chuckers of Purdue, led by Carson Edwards, and I think that we're ultimately going to fall to Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament final. A little bit of revenge for them from 2 years ago, I suppose. But I think that Brad Davison will set a tournament flop record en route to lifting the trophy.
Amazing.
Interesting.
I think for my own take, I think I'm going to have to take the Michigan Wolverines and go with Nick with this one. And I believe that concludes the roundtable for today. Thank you for watching, and always have a great day.